Team Canada. Team Canada. Yes, we got the mic on. I love it. So apologies. Thank you for being patient. I have been a little bit behind because I was just drinking some water or liquid gold and I spilled it all over my shirt. So already had an adaptation opportunity. And if it's one thing that we've learned in 2020 is how to make adjustments. What's up, Mom? That's my mom and dad. My dad's wearing a sweatshirt that says Beast Coast. They live on the East Coast. So love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. And so thank you, everybody, for coming. And I want everybody to engage in the chat. The best thing about when I started investing in myself is the networking, the people, what I learned, who I met, who I've collaborated with, which basically led to tonight. And we've had some big technical difficulties on me because I didn't give us enough time. So my team, who is awesome, and they are covering my butt, but we have screens and things everywhere, actually like a live event instead of doing it from my home. But I was like, Tom and Lisa Bilyeu, I'm gonna try to shoot for the moon. So that's one thing that I want everybody to take away is to network with everybody in here. I guarantee whatever goals and dreams that you have, there's gonna be people in this room that can help you get to those goals and dreams. You never know who they might be. Like I see my man Angel right there. Give me one of these, Angel. That dude was trying to get me to speak at Thrive Cole Hatter's event 2 years ago. And I think this year, Angel, with a little bit of luck, we're gonna have some success with that. But Angel just had a mastermind, and I just said, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with him and Keller Williams at a real estate event, and we just started collaborating. I see Kim, who is in Australia, who is also part of Impact Theory University. We met through Impact Theory University, and she has helped me with Arbonne. I have helped her with her teams. So the synergy and the collaborations that people meet in these groups is exactly why you want to invest the time and the energy to meet people and engage in the chat. So investing in myself in terms of time, energy, collaborations, 1,000,000% changed my life. So we do have until 5, and I wanted to come on and, well, actually, if we're being completely brutally honest, I wanted Karolina Protsenko to play here with her electric violin. She turned me down. So I did ask for help, but she told me no. So I said, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna talk about networking and masterminds and really how to give, not give to get. And I got the chat too. I got 4 screens in front of me. So if during this session, if you want to throw a question in the chat, I'll try to answer. I just want to give you a couple stories that had a massive impact on my life. And they come from the model of give to give, not give to get. If it's one thing, whether it's high net worth individuals, whether it's billionaires, or whether it's the solopreneur that's broke that doesn't have 2 pennies to rub together, I still believe in give to give, not give to get. And people ask me all that, like, what does that mean, Ricky? And I think this day and age, a lot of times people offer help or give help, and then they do this. They're looking at their stopwatch to see when they get something in return. And I believe when we do that, what we're doing is we're jacking up how good it feels to give, but we're also jacking up the experience for the people that we're giving to. And when we can, my mentor, Dave Meltzer, says this all this time, detach happiness from the outcome. Well, when we offer help, detach the expectation to get something in return, because it does 2 things. Number one, it creates authenticity and sincerity, but also what it does is now I don't have to necessarily wait for something in return, because the second I do that, I'm kind of setting myself for, I don't want to say failure, but I'm setting myself up for a lack of fulfillment, because it's contingent upon them doing that or not. And I also see Jordana, my BFF. She had me speak at New York Fashion Week twice. Hi, Jordana, I love you. And so that's one thing that I want to be super, super clear on is give to give, not give to get. And I think that's so damn powerful because it leads into asking for help. But I will say this month, I have asked for more help than probably any month in my life. And a lot of you know this because I said, do you know of anybody that can help me? Do you know of anybody that can come to this event? Do you know of anybody that can share it? And I think those 2 things really work in unison. So I'm going to share with you one thing that was a give to give model and really why I'm here. And if Matt Barry is on the call somewhere and Micah Ronsky, it really originated from them. So when I first started speaking, I did a keynote at Keller Williams, and I asked Mike Aronsky, I said, hey man, I'm just starting my career. Do you know of anybody that would hire me? And I thought it was for free, so I thought everybody would do it. Turns out not so much, because they actually have to believe in what you're saying to put them in front of your sales team, your operations team, whatever. And so I went and I did a training, and Matt asked me to coach him after the training. I said, here you go, man. Here's my coaching menu. He said he couldn't afford it. And I said, I was excited because this was gonna be like one of my first actual one-on-one coaching clients. And he couldn't afford it. That's what he said. And I basically said, my exact words, I think, were, my mentor, David Meltzer, tells me to be of service, and that will come back to you in some way, shape, or form. So I said, my man, I'm going to coach you for free. So we spent a number of hours going through a couple of different coaching sessions. He had some success. And I said, it's unconditional. If you can ever help me, awesome. I will be open to receiving that. But at the same time, I know I'll get that back energetically through the universe, God, whoever, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it universe. So we did that. And then I realized he said to me one thing. He said, you know who Tom Bilyeu is? This is about 2 years ago. And I said, yeah, I know who Tom Bilyeu is. And he said, would you want to go to his house to watch Impact Theory? And I was like, fuck yes, I would like to go. And I'm going to apologize in advance. This is going to be a really raw and open, judge me when you're perfect type deal. So I get animated sometimes. So I'm just letting people know that. Mom, I know you still love me, even though I might drop a swear word here and there. But so he was like, I was like, yes, 100%. I want to go to Tom Bilyeu's house to watch Impact Theory. And he knew Tom when it was Inside Quest. So Inside Quest was in El Segundo, in Southern California near the South Bay. And they had a studio there. And if you see a guy crawling around, this is Scott right here. I don't know if you can see him, but he's just filming everything. And he knew Tom at Inside Quest. So before Tom was Tom and he had Inside Quest, it was kind of like Impact Theory, but Inside Quest kind of at their studio. And he wasn't getting some, from what I understand, he wasn't getting some guests that he wanted to come on because they didn't want to be associated with Quest for whatever reason. So Tom rebranded it, called it Impact Theory, and did an entire studio out of his house up in the Hollywood Hills, 10,000 square foot house right in the hills, awesome house. And he just shot everything out of there. And because Matt had the relationship with Tom early, he was able to bring me to Tom's house. And that is what I mean by give to give, not give to get. I had no expectation for that guy ever, ever, ever to help me out. But because we started to synergize where nothing monetarily was exchanged, just a relationship, just a collaboration, just a synergy of energy. And because of that, I got access to somebody who's made a massive impact on my life. And when I mean massive, I mean massive. Outside of my mom, my dad, my sister, Ceci, where are you? Love you. My biggest mentors, David Meltzer, John Assaraf, Jack Canfield, Tom, Lisa, some of those, that's at that level. And so then I was in Tom's house and I said, I'm just coming here every chance I get. And they would do shooting of Impact Theory, maybe sometimes twice in a day. And those are long days. So what I would do is I would just bring the staff pizza. And then I would, bring them books. I asked Dave, hey man, can you give me some books to give to the staff? Dave was like, no problem. He gave me free books. I brought them to Tom's staff. I said, here, just in some way for your generosity in helping me out and just changing my life. And ironically, they loved the pizza. And then I got a call and they asked me, Ricky, can you please not bring books anymore? I was like, man, I'm trying to help out here. And they said, it's actually cluttering the house. I was like, oh God. So I stopped bringing books up, but it was the thought that counted, obviously, but it was still under that mode of give to give. And Tom says this all the time. If you want to be of service to somebody, whether they're a billionaire or whether they're a manager or whatever it is, do not go up to them and ask them, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? Don't ask them that, because now if I did that, I just made me his problem. So that's not something that I would recommend. Instead of I took a shot at pizza and books. They liked the pizza, didn't like the books. So I had to keep asking, man, how can I help these people that are literally billionaires that seemingly have everything? How can I possibly help them? And I started working a little bit with some of their staff. But the whole reason I'm able to collaborate with Tom and Lisa now, who get hit up for everything, and who Tom gets $70,000 an hour to speak or consult, 70 grand an hour, and he's doing this for free. And it's simply because of the model that's give to give, not give to get. So that's one thing that I think people have asked me this all the time. How'd you get Tom and Lisa to do this? Number one, how'd you get them to do it for free? And it all stemmed up with this relationship that I've built over time. So that's one thing that I want to make super clear. I'll give you guys another example. And then, oh, cool, I got a clock here. We got plenty of time. We got about 20 minutes or so. And then I'll just open it up to some Q&A. Maybe Scott will practice some live Q&A and stuff. So another thing was in 2009, I'm going to share this more in the event. In 2019, I spent about 6 figures, a little over 6 figures on my mindset, on my business, and on my associations. I joined 3 different masterminds. And I remember calling my mom and dad. I was like, this is uncomfortable for me. I'm going to spend the money. And they said, why do you want to do it? And I said, I want to grow. I'm becoming obsessed with growth, and I'm not happy enough with the pace of which I'm growing. And my mom and dad, they support me in everything I do. I'm in the minority, so again, love you, mom and dad. But I did that, and I'm in an e-commerce mastermind, a real estate mastermind, and an entrepreneurial mastermind. Okay, 3 masterminds totaling around $100,000. I didn't necessarily buy that or invest in myself for real estate information, e-commerce information, or entrepreneurial information. I wanted access to people. I wanted proximity. And I don't care if people think this sounds bad, but I wanted to buy proximity because I knew I could be of service and learn and implement at the same time. I was actually going to wear a shirt that said, I am accountable. I spilled water all over that thing like 2 minutes ago. So now I'm wearing my implement shirt. Good job. Good call, Kate, for saying bring 2 shirts. So I joined the mastermind. Okay. And these people in my arena and speaking and things like that, they know a lot of people. So I offered to, number one, speak for free. I offered to say, hey, can you give me some feedback on something that can help the mastermind? And then I did one thing where Cole took me in his house, and he basically took me to a corner of his house and he said, what's your deal? What's your angle? I was like, whoa. And this is what I did. And I'm gonna, in my opinion, the most simplistic things in life are gold, just like gratitude. People think it's not that powerful. Try it. This goes far beyond positive thinking. It's neurochemistry. But what I'm about to share is so damn simple, but nobody does it. And I think it's the lost art of building relationships and heartfelt, elevated emotion giving. And all I did was I wrote a handwritten thank you card to Cole Hatter, Sonia Hatter, and then Brighton Hatter, 7 years old, and she is adorable. Follow her on Instagram. She's done trainings for my team. She's one of my youngest mentors. She's 7 years old, Brighton Hatter. Angel, if you can put Brighton's spelling of her name in the chat and maybe your Instagram, she's awesome. So I wrote Cole and Sonia a thank you card just for simply teaching me things about speaking and allowing me into their mastermind. But then I'm like, well, Brighton's awesome. I got to get Brighton a card. So I got Brighton a card. They have another daughter, Eliana. Eliana is, I think, 4 now. And I was like, well, I can't give Cole a card, Sonia a card, Brighton a card, and leave out the youngest daughter. So I wrote Eliana a card, 4 handwritten thank you cards. To me, it took 10 minutes. Because of that, Cole brought me over to the corner of his house and said, you are such an arena of people giving that people just don't do that. And I'm not hearing you ask for anything in return. He literally asked him about this. This is a running joke with us. He's like, literally, what's your deal? And he does this. Cole, this is Cole's stance right here. What's your deal? And so when I was like, hey man, you have helped me. I'm just paying it forward and saying thank you. If you ever want to help me, by all means, I will be open enough to receive it. But at the same time, it's not conditional. Because of that, he gave me a stage to speak at a number of different masterminds. Obviously, I had to provide value, but he was able to give me an opportunity just from simple things. So, and I will give you this in about maybe 15 to 25 minutes. I'm going to show you this in real time. I have something that I believe Tom and Lisa has never been given. And that can be a little challenging when it's a billionaire, legit billionaires. So I have something that I think is going to be heartfelt and elevate emotions for something that I believe will bring extreme value to their life. Actually, 3 things, but one of them I'm more excited about than others. So I'm going to show you about this in real time. But I think those 2 things, if you give to give and not give to get, and you actually spend some time on like, how can I possibly provide value, and don't put people on a pedestal, that just makes them up here and us down here. Absolutely not. We're all on the same pedestal. And I see Kate laughing, but she's like, man, we all put these people on pedestals. They put their pants on just like us. They spill water all over their shirts just like I did. So it's something that I think that's number one, is that, look, we are worth everything just as much as everybody else. Hey, Sess, I see you. Love you, Sess. That's my sister. So those are just two things and stories that I wanted to share, because this, even though it's virtual and there's nothing live and I'm not getting paid or anything like that, I look at this as the most significant event of my life. And it came from give to give. And I'm able to pay it at least forward in some small way, shape, or form to two people that have changed my life. And it's so funny too, because I see Amy. What's up, Amy? So there's Amy. That's the ITU. She runs Impact Theory University. She is awesome. And I've been asked a number of times, like, man, Ricky, you're really, you're going above and beyond. I was like, no, no, no. They've gone above and beyond by impacting my life. And if it's one thing that people have heard me again and again and again, I don't chase lifestyle and I don't chase money. I chase impact. When we make an impact, we have an opportunity to solve problems, help more people, make a boatload of money, and to me, live a more fulfilled life. So in terms of just give to give and not give to get, that's what I got. And I wanted to come on and share that because Carolina told me that she wouldn't do this. I'm going to get her next time. You guys can all help me. When we look for Carolina Prosensko, she's a 12-year-old little violinist that is awesome, just like Brighton. So we got about 12 minutes, and I'm happy to take any questions, and we're going to actually practice this. If somebody has a question, so Scott, they won't be able to unmute themselves, right? What's up, Paris? Aussie, I love it. I love the Aussies. So if somebody has a question, let's do this. The number one thing, what's that? Oh, all right. So if you guys want to see yourself, look, how cool is that? This is like, I should have been here many, yeah, give a wave. Actually, if everybody can give a wave, hold on. I'm going to post a little something. All right, and start waving. If Misty's out there, yeah, give it a good wave. Give it a good wave. Give me some energy. Give me some energy. I love it. I'll take a little selfie action. Bam. So if anybody has a question, I'm happy to answer that. We got about 11 minutes before we get going. And whether it's high worth individuals or, solopreneur down the street, anything on any question really, but give to give, or how can you be of service, or how can you, provide value with somebody that you think maybe has everything in the world. Trust me, they don't. But who's got a question? Give me a wave. Anybody? All right, Leona, let's spotlight and mic Leona if we can. There we go. All right, good practice.
Hello, Rockstar. How are you?
Yes. What's up, Leona? How are you?
Good. So I wanted to know just a networking question. How do you manage new contacts? Do you have a rock solid system? There's hundreds. So I would love to meet 165 new people. How do you manage the contacts?
Yeah. So number one, if somebody asks me for something, which I am happy, you guys send me a DM, whoever, Bree, I see Bree. What's up? How are you, Bree? Drop my Instagram in the chat. I am happy to help anybody. Now, the one thing that I usually do, and have you ever heard of the paperclip test? Or nope. Okay. So I have a lot of people that ask me for help, which I love. That's what I preach, right? And then the paperclip test is like, say, hey, if you want help, bring me a paperclip this time and date. And then very few people do it. I was one of those people that actually brought a paperclip to somebody. So the way that I manage it is say, hey, if you want my help, give me, I was talking to one thing, if Ashley's on here, I said, hey, let's work together. In a week, give me your top 3 mentors. If she comes back and gives me your top 3 mentors, I'm going to pour into that person. So I just have, for me personally, I have a hierarchy of who I give my time to. In terms of a database, yeah, I got like an Excel sheet and people, and then, between emails and things like that. This is the first year that I have a team that's helping me kind of do that. Where's Bryce? Where's Amy? Kate's right here. And just a lot of cool collaborations. But in terms of organizing, yeah, I have, whether it's on Instagram, email, or things like that. But for me, it becomes way more efficient when people actually implement and they actually do some of the things. I will pour into that person all day. So for me, it's like, that's kind of how I keep my hierarchy of who I'm collaborating with. Does that make sense? Awesome, thanks. And throw Ricky Mendez Speaks in the chat too. That's probably the best way to get me. All right, who else? Oh, also, we're gonna be giving away a lot of stuff. In fact, let's give away something right now. In order to win, you gotta have your cameras on. I'm just letting you know that we live in a camera-free society. We live in a camera-free, empowering place. We wanna have cameras on, especially for Tom and Lisa. So in order to win, I'm just saying you gotta have your camera on. All right, what can we give away? So let's do, let's do this. So we have an impact theory planner, okay? I have a lot of gifts over here from Tom and Lisa and impact theory staff. So it's a impact theory planner, and you can use it as a journal, anything like that. The first person to, and Scott, we're gonna write in the chat. The first person to write this word in the chat, we'll send you this. You don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to pay for any of that stuff. We will mail it out. But the first person to write impact in the chat, write impact in the chat, and bam, we'll get you a free impact theory planner. And Scott will try to find that, and we're gonna be giving away a lot of stuff, but that's the number one. And a shout out to Amy for getting me a lot of this stuff to be able to give away. And we'll thank Tom and Lisa as well. Whoever has the next question, give me a wave. Dan, saw you first, buddy. Can we spotlight Dan? He is on this TV. Dan, I'm gonna butcher this, Stourac, S-T-O-U-R-A-C. Can you give him another wave, Dan? There we go. Sweet.
Unmute. Hello, can you hear me all right?
There you go. Yeah, buddy.
There we go. Awesome. Did great on my last name.
Nice.
So yeah, my question being, I am also exclusively chasing impact, and I just published a book on gratitude, paying it forward to a cancer community in which I grew up in. And to have buying ability with people like yourself who believe in give to give, what's the fastest way to really gain credibility and say, I'm for real about this stuff?
Great question, man. I'm holding literally a gratitude coin that John Asraf gave me. Whoever, I collaborate with that guy, send me a DM. There's definitely different ways to synergize for sure. The way for me, I mean, just keep doing exactly that. If there's something that you can do to help anybody, and this is how small I'm talking, the universe does not reward scale. It will reward consistency. So when people say, well, I can't help anybody, I'm talking about as small as a smile. Especially after 2020. I live a block away from the ocean. I go running along the ocean a lot. And you can see it, fear in people's faces. And sometimes if you just look at somebody in the face and give them a big smile, for me, it's easy because I got huge cheeks, and I give them a thumbs up and I give them a smile, that's helping somebody. So Absolutely. It can be as small as that. And if you do that consistently, it doesn't have to be, I gave 20 grand to a charity. You know, I'd much rather people do small acts of kindness to be of service that maybe cost you something, maybe don't. Shoot, one of my favorite things is filming random acts of kindness, not necessarily to post everywhere, but for me. I put them in an album that I have an album that says, I am great. So when the shitstorm comes, I can go to my album and I feel better. One of my favorite one of those is I paid for a lunch at Waffle House. This is like 2 years ago. The lunch was like $7. Back up. The lunch, I get excited. They tell me I'm a little close. So the lunch was $7. It was at Waffle House. I paid for it without the woman knowing. The cashier told her somebody paid for her lunch. And she was like next to herself. She was so happy. It was $7. So I would say it's not about being real to other people. It's about being real to you. And the more you do these things small scale, you're gonna feel that energy. You're gonna carry a different energy and an aura about you that people want to be around. So I would say it's about selling yourself first with the little things consistently that are acts of gratitude, are acts of kindness. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thanks, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question. Awesome. What's up, Brenny? I got a college teammate. Awesome, man. Awesome. Next, anybody else got another question? Give a wave. Okay. Can you move the mouse so I can see the names on this screen? Okay, I'm gonna say girl in a tank top with hair on one side that's brown, and she's still waving like a rock star. There she goes, Gigi. Gigi O'Brien.
Hi, Ricky. How are you?
Awesome. How's it going?
Christy, actually.
What's that?
I met you through Christy, so been following
awesome.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Love it.
I've been really trying to figure out how to approach finding the right mentor. Do you have any tips on that?
100%. This could be another hour just on this. My short version is to understand that a mentor can be alive, they can be dead, they can be somebody you know, they can be somebody you don't know, they can be somebody you met, they can be somebody you haven't met, they can be older, they can be younger, they can be from a book, they can be from a podcast. A mentor can be a dog. Seriously, if this person, thing, or whatever increases quality of life, to me, My definition is that's a mentor. So just understanding that one opens up the whole playing field, right? So for me, impact theory, I am going to just, Tom and Lisa are on that upper echelon level for me that have impacted my life. So you're going to hear a lot of me puking of what they do, but impact theory is one of my absolute go-tos for when I get kicked in the teeth. And I literally have Tom and Lisa's picture on my wall with other mentors. So when I get kicked in the teeth and when the shitstorm comes, I can look up and it just says WWYMD, what would your mentor do? So impact theory is one place to find not just Tom and Lisa, but they interview the absolute who's who of people who have impacted the world. So impact theory is number one. Number two for me, Jack Canfield, I remember Chicken Soup for the Soul, but it's really just diving down a rabbit hole. I mean, you can literally go to Google and just type in benefits of a positive mindset and just go down that rabbit hole. That is a rabbit hole that I believe we should go on, not the rabbit hole of fear and all this garbage. Literally, think about that rabbit hole. Go to Google, benefits of a positive mindset. I bet you find a fountain of mentors in there. For me, Tom, Lisa, Dave Meltzer, John Assaraf, Jack Canfield, Lisa Nichols, Lisa Bilyeu, Karolina Protsenko, Mel Robbins. Those are some of my biggest mentors.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, who's the winner? Lisa's iPad won an impact theory planner. Lisa's iPad, there she is. What, a Penny, right? Yeah, what's up, Lisa? So I know Lisa, we met from the nice work. All right, so I think I already have your address. Send me your address on Instagram, Ricky Mendez Speaks, and we'll send you that impact theory. Awesome, super cool, super cool. Okay, cool. We just sent you a DM for that. And all right, it's 5 o'clock.